All right, we're live, tapping Birdie, this Sentry, with my good friend John Hasbauer, aka PGA Tout. How you doing tonight? I mean, this has been a long time coming. I mean, TIB is back in action.
I know. I couldn't be happier to kick off the new year right alongside you, right with TIB. Tournament of the century, some people are
Yeah,
calling it.
yeah. That's wow. Did you not use that in your article? Like, were you saving it for TIB?
Kept it back pocket in case you texted me at 2 a.m. wondering if I would come on.
I did text you at 2 a.m. I did text you at 2 a.m. You know, the secretary took an extended vacation. So she was kind of off, and I thought she scheduled out my TIB rotation to start the year. So I'm not really sure what I'm paying her for, but you know,
It's the holidays.
we had to figure something out. And you know, I really appreciate last minute like you coming on now that you know you're a married man. You know, things have changed a lot for you. Ring looks great, dude.
Boom.
Are you golfing with it on? Like, has it affected your golf swing? Do you know yet?
Yeah, that's a good question. I thought that was going to be more of an issue than it is. Once you put a golf glove over this thing, I don't even know it's there. So it's on
Okay.
at all times unless I'm like swimming, which I have not done because it's very cold where we live. But I am planning a trip to go to Mexico in a couple of weeks, so that will be
Really?
that'll be my first test to not lose this thing.
Okay.
Because I really don't think it's gonna last very long because I'm not somebody who wears jewelry, so
Yeah.
it's an extra thing that I have to remember to not lose. I would say over under is probably a year and a half before I have my first scare of losing it.
Yeah, I've actually heard that that's one of the biggest adjustments of getting married is like having the ring on. Like that is like top 3 or 4 like differences in your life that you have to like kind of just adjust to. But you're a guy, you could roll with the punches. Like you can do things in a lot of different elements and you know I've seen that firsthand on our trips up to Rochester,
Yep.
one of the greatest cities in America. Like you were truly just phenomenal at Woke Hill. Some are calling it. Just the performance you put on T degree that week on that course in those conditions. I mean, I'll never forget that.
Yeah, T degree is where don't even talk about green. Like
Yeah.
we don't talk about green. I did debut the claw grip
Yes.
at the hill. I think I've abandoned it already.
Okay.
I won a Scotty Cameron putter. That's a new update for me. Is I may not be a mallet guy anymore. Big like it's the equipment, it's not me guy.
Exactly.
So 2024 is the year of the blade. And
how did you win this?
I won like a shop credit, like a $250 shop credit at in a scramble tournament.
Because
Like
they
3
were
months
just like
ago.
using all your drives and like
Yeah,
like
they were not
56
using
yard
exactly.
shots.
They did
Okay.
not use a single one of my putts. We actually started out, I want to say, we went birdie, and then we made 8 consecutive pars, and then we made birdie or eagle on every other hole coming in. And I thought for sure that there's always one group that cheats and shoots like
Yeah.
a 50. And you're like, all right, whatever. And we shot like 11 under, I think, or 12 under. And I left because I just assumed somebody would cheat. But no, we won. So I had to come back like a few months later, and I got a Scotty Cameron out of it. So we'll see. Maybe
So
that's the missing
you
piece.
had to spend some of your own money on the Scotty, I'm guessing, or was it? Oh, was it only 250?
I think it was 300. So
Okay, that's
basically
fine.
covered.
That's like literally like chill. Like there's
Yeah.
no issues.
Yeah,
There.
I'm a blade guy.
Blade guy now, like Scotty Cameron, like elitist East Coaster with your $300 putter. Like it kind of like turning me off a little bit, but it's fine. Actually, last night, my friends were over, we were watching the games, and we are like talking about golf, and we are like recapping around, and one of my friends said, Brian, your solution to everything in golf is just to buy a new club. Like that
Yeah.
was so I stand by that. Like my friend, he doesn't have a 60 degree and he like missed the green on an 80-yard shot. And they're like, you literally, and I was like, dude, you just buy a 60. He's like, every single solution for you is just like buy a new club. It's like, yeah, like buying golf clubs is like kind of the best part of golf. Like that is like what is makes it a great sport.
Yeah, and when you hit Brian Harmon at the Open, you can afford to
Yeah, I mean
buy your problems away.
that money like couldn't have been more gone. Like it's like not even remotely close to being around anymore. But like, this season, like I really feel like a new energy kind of like creeping up. Like we're leaving
Okay.
past old habits. We're making smarter, more informed bets. We're not afraid to pay up for some people. And we're just kind of grinding this year. Like we have like no other obligations. Like it's truly all about getting guys in the final group or like second to last group and like just getting the sweat on Sunday and just really like making the most of the time we have on the PGA Tour because I don't know if this is going to be going on much longer.
Yeah, that's true. I've been starting to think of like New Year's resolutions, like what is 2024 about? 2023 was like the year of chaos for me because I turned 30 and then I got married.
Yeah.
I went to my
Yeah,
bachelor
you're old as
party. I went
shit.
to a
You're
bunch of
old as shit
weddings.
now.
I
Yeah.
went to a bunch of my friends' weddings. Everybody gets married at once. All my time was like I was all over the place. 2024, I don't have a single, not even one wedding on the docket.
Wow. Maybe
I
mine though.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
this could be the year you could
Yep.
elope. You could
Yep.
find
Yep.
someone to get married immediately, and then I'm there. Just text me like 2 a.m. the night before your wedding, and I'm there. But 2024 is the year of no obligations, it's the year of focus.
Yes.
2025, I'm gonna buy a house.
Okay.
So I'm like, wonder if there's any like anyone in our community who knows real estate that's listening.
Chad.
I'm gonna need some pointers. I was toying around with this idea, like this concept throughout the year of like a mortgage bet or putting the house on somebody
Yeah.
because I'm about to buy a house.
Yeah.
But I
I
need
don't
to
think
do a little
anyone's
bit
done
more.
that. Like,
I
I
have to do a
feel
little
like
bit more
that's
research and make sure that's not like copyrighted or anything. But
yeah.
this year is all about me being able to afford a house next year.
Yes.
That's it. That's the driving ethos of
So
2024.
basically on swing season events, like you're betting 50 grand to win 50 grand. Like
Correct.
you're just loading up on one LPGA tour event and every single other opposite field event.
Yeah, like when I have a conviction bet, whether or not I can afford a house next year rides on it, and what tax bracket I'm in, if
Yeah.
I'm a North Shore or a South Shore Long Island guy, like this is all on the table next year.
Okay. So this
And
is
I'm gonna
not
pick
just
one week.
yeah,
I don't know what week it's
this
gonna be.
year is not just for like Twitter likes and congratulations. It's for like setting yourself up for the rest of your life and buying a house.
Right. Or
Okay.
never being able to afford a house ever if it's a bad year.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's a lot at stake.
Yeah. I mean, I personally have a house on the South Shore of Long
I
Island.
could see that. Yep.
4 floors. You've seen it. You I think you've gotten the tour.
Oh yeah.
And you saw the pod room. Like it was pretty sick. If I'm not mistaken. Can we talk about because I haven't talked about this. You said you were literally down to talk about anything tonight.
Absolutely.
So can we talk some John Rahm? Like, can we talk a little bit
Yeah.
about like top 3 golfer in the world, like one of the best golfers in the last 5 years, 2-time major champion, um, a guy who said a lot of things, kind of just going to live, um, in the fall, and now he's just not on the PGA Tour anymore. Do you have any, overarching thoughts about this move?
I'm not shocked that it happened. Obviously, he said he wasn't going to go, and then he got offered more money, and he went. So that's really like I don't like the people who are calling John Rahm a hypocrite because things change. He made comments at a certain point in time, and that was before Jay Monahan became the worst commissioner. Well, he was kind of trending towards being the worst commissioner in
Yeah.
the history of sports, but then he made some actions that solidified him as the worst commissioner in sports. He did request more porta potties, and they got it done, and he still turns back. So I think that's a little.
It's like, what can the tour do? Genuinely, though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what other option they had.
And I want to like continue to follow porta potty gate to see if the live
Yeah.
setups have a bunch of porta potties everywhere. If the porta potty is incorporated into his new team logo, maybe, or like their new merch, they're like branding porta potties. I think they need to take it and run with it. I think they have something there. But yeah, I think anyone who speaks Spanish will be on live within the next year.
It's
There's
it's
really, I
literally
think it's like Grillo. And that's
Griot's
it?
like the only dude left. Like, he
Nico
must be going.
Echevarria, who I'm sure we'll talk about in this podcast.
Of course. I mean, obviously.
I mean, he's on live
Yeah,
a lot.
no, I mean, Mito, Answer, Joaquim, like they just Sergio,
Eugenio.
Puig.
Who could forget Eugenio and Puig?
Yeah.
But
True.
like
That's a valid point.
There's something to that though. Like the PGA Tour, you got to live in America and you're going to play most of your events in America.
Yeah.
If you're a good player and you're getting offered a ton of money and eventually you're going to like have a tournament in your home country like Valderrama is with Spain, or all the Australians playing in Australia, like the PGA just doesn't offer
Or like
the
all the
opportunity
Singapore
to play.
people playing in Singapore.
I'm shocked actually that none of the Korean players have like made their own team because that they're playing over there. That's odd to me. But yeah, like if you're a Spanish speaking player and you got a bunch of Spanish speaking friends over there, it makes sense to me. So am I going to watch live? No, actually, one other thing I just want to air my grievances on. Syracuse plays Duke tonight. Syracuse.
You have a lock?
No, I don't know. I like the team, but I'm not confident in the team yet.
Okay.
Syracuse played Pittsburgh last week. Beat them. It was on the CW. I spent 30 minutes. I don't have cable. I just stream everything. I spent 30 minutes trying to figure out how do I get this app? How do I stream it? You can't do it as far as I can tell. There's no way to stream the CW if you don't have a cable subscription. I desperately tried to watch the CW and I couldn't do it. I had to illegally stream the game. So I don't know how anybody watches live. I don't understand. Like it's on CW, cool, but if you don't have a cable subscription, you just can't.
Yeah, like you're not like a
can't
boomer.
watch
like
it.
You can like download something on your Roku, but you're saying there's no Roku.
I downloaded it on Roku, and there's no way to watch what's live. You can only watch on demand. It's the worst app for sports streaming in the world. So I will continue to not watch live because I've already been wrong trying to watch my college basketball team on the CW. I'm done with the CW and I'm not watching live. But
so you're out.
Yeah, but like they'll make a deal and then it won't be on the CW anymore. And if I could bet on live in like a year and we've merged, then maybe I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. Honestly, I disagree on Rahm being a hypocrite. Like he absolutely is. That doesn't mean the tour isn't a hypocrite, but I think it's like one thing for me if Rahm said like one of the three things he said, but to say like I want to like it means something when you win the Memorial or it means something when you win Bay Hill. Like I care about that stuff and like I don't want to go to live for that reason because the events on the PGA Tour matter. Like okay, that's like one thing. It's like all right, like fine, that's cool. But then to be like, oh no, like actually like hundreds of $1 million wouldn't change my life at all. And like, we don't need it. It's like, okay, like fine. Like, all right, like that's okay. And then to say, yeah, actually, like I really don't like the format of live. Like I actually like don't think it's a real golf tournament. It's like to say one of those things and go, it's like fine. But to say all three and go, like yeah, I mean, I feel like he had the most ammunition of like gotcha moments other than like Rory. Like, has anyone else been like had that many? Like, I don't know if he was second, but like he definitely was up there in terms of like gotcha moments if he ever went to live, right?
Yeah, no, he definitely was. But I think if you even look at his comments after he joined Live, he was still like, yeah, I still don't really know how I feel about this format, but I guess I could get used to it. Like he was like, I like playing team golf. It was fun in
College.
in
Yeah.
college, yeah, but I still don't really love not having a cut. Like even when they were interviewing him on a very like pro live interview, he was still like, there's things about this that I'm not crazy about, but hopefully it changes. So it was all the money, and it's fine. The other thing with Rom is he doesn't have like he's not in that group of like Justin Thomas and Jordan
No,
Spieth, and
he's not.
he doesn't have his boys there. His boys are kind of like the Spanish guys like Sergio, anybody from Spain, and Phil, who's like he's super tight with Phil's
Yeah.
brother from college days and stuff. So there just ended up being more guys that Rom was close with on Live than there was
Yeah,
on PGA
it's
Tour at a
like
certain
if
point.
like some of your boys are like at the bar, but like some of your like closer boys are like at this other bar. Like you're gonna go to the other bar and like post with your boys. Like that's basically why Rom went to live is like my no the real reason Rom went is because he won the fucking Masters and he's in
Yes.
every major for the next 5 years and everything will be figured out in the next 5 years. That is the difference in going to live or not. The reason why Finau and Hatton and Hovland aren't on live is because they do not have major exemptions.
Yep.
That is like the reason. So I understand it from like the winning a major aspect of it because those events are more and more the only events that really matter. Even though I think there'll be some great events on the PGA Tour this year, but everything's going to be figured out in 5 years, and everyone will be playing, the same events. So I think that's the difference why Finau isn't there and Rom is because of the major exemptions. And then the other thing, it's like he doesn't even have like a team, and like some shit golfer on the DP World Tour who like legitimately like is not good at golf is like, oh, like he's gonna be the first team member, and then he comes out, he's like a not. It's like what a shit show! Like you literally get the reigning Masters champion and like a top 3 player in the world, like arguably the greatest player in the world, and it's just like that's it. Like, who is he going to be playing with? Like, what's his team? Like, none of this has been announced. Like, Live starts in like a month. Like, it's like half the events are like on midnight. Like, okay, I'm a fucking like North American, like American centric guy. And like, I understand, like, I guess people around the world like watching golf, but that pisses me off is like half the events are like legitimately like will not be on like when 300 million people are like watching golf. And I'm not saying that, the entire world should revolve around the United States in the Eastern time zone, but I kind of am. So like that's my biggest gripe is like, yo, like I won't even like watch half these events. And I would watch it. Like I have no problem with it. Like Bryson, like should have been on the Ryder Cup, like top 10 player in the world. Like Bryson's good at golf. Like you got me. Like I'm a live bot. But that's kind of my biggest thing is that like yeah, like Rob's gonna be playing with like legitimately like terrible DP World Tour golfers and like live Singapore instead of like losing me money at Memorial and Bay Hill. But I did kind of start the like hating Rom thing.
Yeah, for some reason they've really like gotten these top guys on the concept of like having equity in the team when no team can attract a sponsor that anyone's ever heard of. Like all the like apparel sponsors are legitimately companies with like 300 followers on Instagram. It's some like made up front that's probably also found like backed by the Saudi people, like manufacturers I've never heard of. There was a rumor that Nike was gonna like sponsor Brooks's team, and it just never happened because obviously. But somehow they think that John Rahm's team is going to be valued at the same valuation of like the Dallas Cowboys one day. Like I don't
Yeah.
really understand that. And now they're like, well, yeah, why would a top player go if they're not going to have equity in their team? That's why Tony Finau didn't join Rahm's team, because he is good enough to have his own team, blah, blah, blah. It's like, that doesn't mean anything. No reputable company is investing in this made up live golf league that doesn't play half their events in the United States and draws 100,000 viewers live on the CW. Like, there's no appeal to investors outside of live right now.
Yeah. I agree. Like I'm not a huge fan of live, but I can like see points of it. It just pissing me off that Rahm went, to be honest. And I hadn't talked about it, and I just wanted to talk about it. If you're like first time listener, like I normally like don't, I'm not like a super lib and like just rag on live. Like that's not really what this pod's about. But I was just kind of stewing on that for a while. So I appreciate
Okay.
everyone just hanging in there with me. But those are my real thoughts about it. Before we get into the Sentry, I've been deep in the lab. You've been deep in the lab. I've, been kind of forecasting this major season, this PGA Tour season, and I feel good about some guys. Like Harmon and like Wendy see like winning majors, anyone can win a major now. Like you
Yep.
have the right to say anyone can win any event if that happens. So I've kind of been like stewing on like some longer shot major winners, guys that can like have a breakout year like Wyndham and Harmon and all these other people. Who is one elite guy, like top 25, top 30 in the world, you think gets a major and a PGA Tour win this year and like really vaults himself kind of into the top 10 and like really elevates his game this year? Like Hovland last year would be my like example of that.
So gets his first, has not won a major yet,
Sure.
and gets his first
Or just
major.
have like a top player that like has a really, really good season. That's like top 30 in the world. Like Hovland last year, he didn't win like a major, but like Scotty 2 years ago. Like someone like that, not like fucking Sepp Straka.
Right. I think this isn't a perfect answer to that question, but I think Matt Fitzpatrick will have a top 10, will be top 10 in the world, have a top 10 season, which I think is more of an elite rank. Like he just seems like he's on a trajectory that's going to continue going up. And the more he wins, the easier it's going to be for him to win again, because he's not like chasing his first win or anything like that. He got the monkey off his back with a major. He won his favorite hometown event. He won in England in his hometown last year too. He won a Ryder Cup. Like the vibes are just really good for Matty Fitz. He's going to continue to chase distance, which is going to be good for him. He's a great putter. Braces are off. He's married. He's got a hot wife.
Girlfriend. Yeah. Hot wife.
Chip and cross-handed. Doesn't give a fuck. Like Matty Fitz is going to win multiple times this year. I don't know if I'm going to say he's definitely going to win a major, but he's going to win multiple PGA times Tour on events the PGA Tour this year. Okay, yeah, he's not going to be Victor Hovland. He's not going to have a Victor Hovland transcendence, but he will win twice. Okay. And he'll be a factor in the majors.
Okay. I'm not going to say I love it, honestly, but that's fine. Like it's like no beef situation. He's a one major guy in my book. I know you said he didn't win a major,
never
but like
again.
He can't win another major. I'm like out on that. My top guy that's going to have an amazing year this year is Max Homa. I truly think like he's going to have an elite season, and I think he's going to win a major and maybe multiple PGA Tour events. I think he could have like a Justin Rose 2013 season. That Justin Rose, if anyone remembers, 2012 Ryder Cup, played unbelievable, was kind of like a fringe guy, like normal dude, like some Euro, goes nuclear at the Ryder Cup, wins a major that year, has a really good year, and then like cements himself as, a future world number one, an elite a truly, truly elite golfer. I think Homa's close, but I really think like his performance in the Ryder Cup, how well he played in a lot of events last year. I really think it's time for him. I know he's had a lot of like breakthroughs, but I really think Homa is my guy to really truly elevate himself into a top 5 player on the PGA Tour that wins a major this year and some big dick PGA Tour events. Like honestly, like I just think he's kind of good at golf. Like honestly, I think he golfs his ball well. I don't know if that's like a hot take or not, but I don't really think he has really any weaknesses in his game. Like he's a good putter, great ball striker. He knows how to win. I know he has a lot of PGA Tour wins, but I think he really like cements himself as a like bona fide like top 5 player in the world.
Yeah, he kind of is in a similar position that Hovland was going into last year, where like
Yeah,
everything was looking good, but he hadn't really done it on the biggest stages yet. He's got all the pieces. I think I bet him twice in majors last year, and I'll probably continue to do it.
yeah,
Doesn't really make sense why he's not doing well in majors, because he does really well, to your point, in like
yeah.
high pressure, like the Ryder Cup or the President's Cup. He was fantastic too. He won in Africa.
Yes.
Just random. He just showed up and won there. He's just really good. He's a great swing.
Yeah.
He's one of the best putters. Like he could be a top 5 putter on the whole tour this year. He's
exactly like that. I don't know why. Do you know why more PGA Tour players don't do what like Hovland and Homa do and like be really good ball strikers and also putt really well? Like, why don't more people do that?
It is crazy why all the best putters are like really bad at ball striking.
Yeah.
Like
Just do
statistically,
both. You
statistically, the reason for that is like bad ball strikers give them long putts, and if you make more long putts, you gain more strokes, and if you hit it close to the cup more often, you're more likely to lose strokes putting because you have more opportunity to miss putts that you should make. But it doesn't make sense why you can't just be an elite ball striker and an elite putter.
Yeah. Like Hovland and Homa are. Those are really the
Yeah.
only guys that I'm like, no, like Hovland is really the example of that. Like he really can putt his ball and like do everything else really well. Okay, so one longer shot guy that you think could, win an elevated event, like, win on the PGA Tour, like maybe contend in a major, maybe win a major. Who's a guy that you could see yourself above 50-1 most weeks just betting because you think a win is coming this year?
I would say not in a major, but I would say a guy who I think is going to have Nick Taylor's season this year.
Okay.
The 2024 version of 2023 Nick Taylor is Adam Schenk.
Okay.
He's gonna be in contention in like one of these signature events, and he's gonna win. He doesn't have like a Canadian Open equivalent, but he's gonna win his
the
first
John Deere. He's gonna win the John Deere.
Oh, yeah, that's his backyard. Like he rides his tractor. He rides his John Deere to the John Deere.
Exactly.
He's gonna win. Like he had such a good year last year. He keeps adding distance. Now he's a bomber and one of the top putters on tour.
His wife follows me on Twitter.
Crazy. That's great. I'm glad to hear that. I hope she's watching, honestly.
Adam Schenk is winning the Players. I'm in.
Sure.
Like, I'm in. Like
why
absolute
not?
Nuke.
But yeah, I think there's something there. I don't think that was a 1-year fluke. Like Scott Stallings the year before.
Yeah.
We watched that and we were like, what is that? That's not going to continue. Yeah. And he was completely erased from the PGA Tour. Yeah. In last year. I don't think I
think he's actually like becoming a commentator on the PGA Tour. Like, I think his career's over.
He was like dominating the BMW. He was like about to win the BMW at Willie CC. And he got hot. He was like doing a Lucas Glover thing last year, the year before.
Yeah.
Then he just completely disappeared. Adam Schenk is in a different category than that, I think. I think he's got the tools and he's ascending. He's still going up.
Love it. My long shot guy, I don't know if you know what I don't know if you listen, but he's gonna win a major this year. He's 150 to 1. Bet it right now. It's an absolute whale bomb nuclear missile play. Cam Davis is my
Mm.
guy this year. He's winning the US Open. Like,
Oh,
this is not a joke. He's actually going to win the US Open. I'm calling it now. To win a US Open, you have to be a bomber. Like, that has to be the distinctive thing about you. Check. To win a US Open, you have to be a first-time major winner. You can't win a US Open if you won a major before. Boom. Check. Check. You have to like kind of be like a fringe guy. Not really, just really Wyndham Clark, but like not be like that good at golf, and then just like be a really good driver and putter, and then like figure out your iron play.
yeah,
Um, and strokes gained Australia at Pinehurst, like it's kind of like that vibe
yeah.
over there. Um, I think Cam Davis can have a Wyndham Clark, Matt Fitzpatrick, Gary Woodland type year. I'm going to be betting him a lot. Matt said Sepp Straka winning the U.S. Open. Also love that. I like him at the Open as well. Sepp Straka would probably be like my second guy that I think can really elevate himself, win a major, go to live, form an Austrian powerhouse. That's kind of what I see for Sepp. But seriously, Cam Davis, 150 to 1, US Open, like absolute nuke.
Yeah.
Absolute nuke. And I'll talk about it later. JT Poston, 320 to 1 to win the Masters. One of the greatest lines. I also like Minwoo at the US Open. How do
Yeah.
you feel about Minwoo? I feel like you invented him. I also Austin Weber Minwoo at the US Open. I love that bet as well, 80 to 1. I actually think I bet it.
Remember when Minwoo was the favorite at the Honda and he like hadn't played a PGA Tour event ever, but
Really?
he like finished like top 5 in like 7 straight DP events.
Yeah, I do remember that actually.
I was like, this is ridiculous. And then I don't think he did much at the Honda, and then he came on later. Minwoo's the best. Everyone will love Minwoo as they get to see him more. I'm excited for Foxy to be a full-time
Yes.
PGA Tour member.
He's winning the PGA championship.
Um, the PGA Championship or the
Yeah,
Tour Championship?
he's winning a major. No. Like
Oh yeah,
no. I'll
at
go
Valhalla.
on the record. I'll go on the record. Ryan Fox will win a PGA Tour event this year. Will you back me?
Where? Oh, he could really.
No. He's winning at Colonial.
Okay, I was gonna say Craig Ranch actually.
No, I feel like he's more a Diffie C's guy.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
Sepp
No.
Straka
Yeah. It could be. Okay.
Colonial is an absolute missile play. Like you can't bet it right now. He might not play, but just remember I said that.
Yeah, I'm an honorary Kiwi for life now. We did an All Blacks tour in Auckland. Saw Grant Fox's statue and all of his accolades over there. And I was like, oh, that's Ryan Fox's dad. And they were like, no one's ever said that. I'm a big Ryan Fox
No,
guy.
what? Are you
Ryan
kidding me? No one's
Foxy's
ever noticed his dad?
Foxy's dad is like the most famous athlete in New Zealand history.
Until
And most people don't realize that his son golfs. And I was like, I don't know who Grant Fox is, but I'm a big fan of Ryan Fox. And they were like, that's weird. You're weird.
Yeah.
But I'm
I
Team
mean,
Foxy. I would love to see him win.
we both
You
have
and
a
I
special.
both know if
Yeah.
Foxy's doing well, we're on the airwaves in New Zealand. So we're vested.
Like I don't really know, what more people want from us. Like we couldn't be more trustworthy. You've been to fucking New Zealand. How was the honeymoon? Like rated out of 10?
10 out of 10.
It was amazing.
It was great. It was a long flight, but it really passed by. Watched like 5 movies each way. Watched Lord of the Rings trilogy. Really flew by. Auckland, as much as we love our folks down there, is the worst part about New Zealand.
Really?
Which is saying a lot because Auckland's amazing. But I went to like the best mini golf bar I've ever been to in my
Okay.
life in Auckland. That was the highlight of Auckland. It was called Holy Moly. The best time I've ever had mini golfing.
Wow.
Um, it was like a Rube Goldberg on every mini golf hole, and they were like themed to different national like thing. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. It's a great thing. Google Holy Moly. I think they
Just
have
go
them in other
there. Like if you're
locations.
looking for something to do on a weekend, fly to New Zealand and play mini golf there.
Yes, facts. And then leave Auckland and spend the rest of your time on South Island. Go to
Okay.
Queenstown. That's where we went. Beautiful. Played 9 holes of golf. Golfed on a glacier. Flew in a helicopter.
No big deal.
Vibes were immaculate. I wish I was still there. It's summertime there, so I really wish I was there now. But yeah, no, it was good. Ryan Fox breakout year coming. You heard it here first on
Boom.
TIB.
I love it. I'm actually placing that parlay right now. Poston Masters, Fox PGA, Camp Davis US Open, Sepp Straka Open. Like that's a parlay. Like literally $1 billion to 1. Genuinely though. Like it actually might be. I guess we could talk some Sentry. You're a marketing guy. I like it. It's clean. It's kind of like in The Social Network when fucking Justin Timberlake is like, get rid of get rid of like just Facebook. This Sentry, I love it. I like it way better than Sentry Tournament of Champions. So as someone that, majored in marketing,
yeah. Well, they did it a year late
approval
on the rebrand because last year it was not the Tournament of the Champions and they were calling it the Sentry Tournament of Champions with some non-champions. Now they're not even kidding themselves. Some of these guys are not champions, but it's just the Sentry, so it's okay.
So do you remember what trend we would be talking about if not for one of the biggest collapses in PGA Tour history? Come on, John.
Well, yeah, the guy who doesn't win the year before is the guy who wins the Sentry.
Yeah, strokes gained not winning a real event. Like Harris English legit didn't win. Cam Smith won a team event. That doesn't count. And then Colin literally didn't win last year, but he got in because he was in the Tour Championship.
That's right. I was all in on Xander for that.
And then he withdrew, right?
Yeah, he was the only guy to not play the full tournament.
But he won though.
Well, no, he won. Well, he won the Olympic. Oh
no.
I'm using it.
No,
the year before he only got in because of the Olympics, and it was a whole thing. But the year last year he actually won a bunch.
So anyway. There would be a good. I have a bunch of strokes gained things to talk about. That we'll get into, but I think you would agree this is kind of a tougher event to handicap. No one's been playing. There's no recent form. It's a smaller field. The course is, unlike anything they play on the PGA Tour. So this isn't one where, I'm going to guarantee a winner, which I will many times this year. But this is kind of a tough one to kind of figure out, just given it's the first event of the year and everything. Would you agree, or do you have the winner?
I like this event. I actually like it a little bit more now that there's 59 players and not 30 or less than 30. When it's 30, I feel like
shout out the PGA Tour.
Yeah, and for some reason when you double it, it's no, but actually those guys won't win. I feel like to me, this is always a week, and I forget this, and then I realize once they start playing, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna remember that next year. But I actually remembered it this year. This is the week where everybody plays new clubs. They have new equipment sponsors. They have a new caddy. Colin, this time last year, nobody had any idea that he completely changed his putting stroke and got a new putting coach. And he hit everything, and he made he was gaining 7 strokes putting going into the last round.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying different stuff. And we don't know what's going to happen going in.
Strokes can change.
Yes. So that's why I kind of just look at course history. And if the guys are consistently playing well at this event, that at least tells me they do something to prepare for the first week in January. Because most people let's take a Tommy Fleetwood, for example. He's never played in this event. He's been on tour forever. He's usually chilling with his family in January or had a nice New Year's Eve celebration with his old wife, hanging out in England. This is a real change for him. And he might be change his clubs and other shit, just testing out something new to see what works. Or all nobody gets cuts. Everyone makes money. There's going to be a lot of guys like that. So targeting against some of the new, like, veteran, first time there people who don't fit the course and don't like a Hatton and a Fleetwood are two guys that I'm going to bet against in a matchup, because it's just it's a change.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that just kind of adds to the element of it being kind of tough. But one thing that I've in my deep dive kind of looked at, it is a huge event for strokes gained won in the fall. Like, there's only so many opportunities to win in the fall, but a large sample size of guys that have won this event have won in the fall. So Rahm won a bunch of times on the DP World Tour. Cam Smith didn't win, but he was in contention at RSM like right before, like in his last event, and he was playing well. Harris English won the QBE shootout by 9 strokes. 9 fucking strokes. Okay, that's a tournament record. If I knew that, dude, if I was betting, like if TIB was around in 2021, I legitimately would have bet the house on Harry English after his QBE shootout win. JT, he won that fall. Xander Schauffele, who does not win golf tournaments, won the event in Asia in the fall before he won. DJ didn't. JT did. He won in the fall. So for me this week, I really like guys that won in the fall. I think that playing and contending in the last 3 months is a massive advantage to guys who haven't played much. And I kind of like that little bit of course history. Also, if you win this event, you win a major that year. So
Yeah,
you have to
facts.
bet guys that will win a major this year. Rahm won a major, Cam won a major, Harris English top 5 at the US Open. That was
Counts.
basically a major win. JT didn't. Xander basically won the 2019 Masters. DJ, I don't know. JT 2017, he won this, then won a major. So strokes gained, one in the fall, strokes gained will win a major in the upcoming year.
Yeah, got to get the futures up immediately before the lines move on Sunday.
Hell yeah. Like if someone wins this event, just parlay them to win every single major. You want to get into the into the betting board?
Why not?
Yeah. Scotty 5-1. I'm a little bit scared of him because he won this fall and he's like pretty good at golf. But I'll hope that he can't go super low. Hovland 9-1. I'm out. Like he's been ass here. This isn't really kind of his spot. He didn't win in the fall, so I'm out on Hovland at 9-1. Because I wanted to bet him, I didn't. Do you think Collins' performance last year makes him more or less likely to win this year?
I would say more likely because this is an event that not everyone can be fully focused at. Like if you have any reason to just have a good time this week, you might not have all the competitive juices flowing. And this is a business trip for Morikawa because he embarrassed himself.
Yes.
I mean, we were talking about this, like collapse of the year is usually my favorite superlative to look back on and debate about. We've never seen such a runaway collapse of the year. And partly it's just, it was a year without many collapses. I mean, the year before you had to talk about, was it Scott Piercy? Was it Mito?
Who could forget?
Was it Scotty Scheffler at the Tour Championship? There were a lot of major collapses. The year before that, it was definitely Chesson Hadley at the Palmetto Championship. Who could forget? And this year, I think the answer to runner-up collapse of the year to Colin would have to be Kuchar on Saturday at the Worldwide Technology Championship, which just goes to like credit to Colin Morikawa for pulling off collapse of the year. You really have to
It
have
literally actually
stranglehold.
might be collapse of the decade. Like, how many times in every single PGA Tour event does someone ever lead by 7 strokes at one point at any time? Very little. I really can't think of like any time someone's been up by 7 in a tournament. That happens very little. And I would assume that the win percentage is pretty high if you have a 7-stroke lead of a tournament. It's not collapse of the year. It's collapse of the decade,
Collapse of
in
the
my opinion.
century.
Yeah, yeah, collapse. I mean, Spieth at Masters. I don't know. I feel like that was worse than Spieth at the Masters.
No, no, no. Collapse of
The century.
the
Yeah,
century.
yeah. No, there's just so many. But I wanted to bet Colin, but I bet another guy, and I think that I do like he won. I do like that he won in the fall. Like, it's not a bit. Like, I really do like that aspect. But I can't think. You have a pretty good golf encyclopedia brain. Can you ever remember someone blowing a tournament and then like winning it the next year, or like
Ooh, that,
someone being like runner up and then finishing? The only person I can think about is Tony at Mexico. But I can't think of like really many other scenarios. Like,
did
I
he
think there is some.
blow it or just like
No, he didn't blow it, but like he came in second and then won the next year. So my kind of thing is that it hurts him more, even though the he's been great here. I do think that it's a bad place in his head once he gets on the back nine here. Like, that's all he'll think about, and it will take a lot of willpower. I do think Colin will have a big year and he'll win. I'm out.
Yeah, I think again though, it's just the century now. It's not the century tournament of champions. It's just the century. It may not matter that much to him whether he wins or loses.
Okay.
He got the win at the Zozo.
Yeah, it's like his comeback here, and he
Punches off
like
the
has.
back. He's comfortable out here.
Yeah, he's gonna win. I like him at Torrey, to be honest.
Okay.
So you're betting Patrick Cantlay. What did I read? Everyone go check out Dylan's Chair's article, his sit down with Cantlay. Loved it. It was really good. You're on Cantlay this week. What is the case for old Patty Eyes?
I think that it's just everyone's kind of stacked up there with like it was Xander, Colin, Cantlay. Is there anybody else? They're all like 16-1, basically. And I just think Cantlay's better than all of them. I think he's like clearly like your tiers are. You got to take Rahm out of there now because he doesn't play here anymore. So it's Scotty and Rory. Big Lud is maybe next in a tier 2. It's like Cantlay, Homa, Big Lud.
Wait, I don't want to cut you off.
Vic.
What do you think about Ludwig? Like, is he good at golf?
Yeah.
He's good at golf?
Yeah. I mean, he's legit. He's here to stay. I don't know enough about his short game if he's like getting lucky, chipping. I feel like he chips in a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't actually think he's like this like Scotty Scheffler level, like should be chipping in a lot type of guy. So I think that kind of regresses a little bit. But I mean, he's got probably the nicest swing on tour.
Yeah.
Hits it a
But, like,
mile and it doesn't move.
How egregious do you think his prices are?
I don't think they're egregious. I think they're
You
fair.
think he should be 14-1 in this field?
Yeah, I think if he was like 18, I would definitely bet him, and I think a lot of people would. But this is an event that I don't really like guys who haven't been here before. It's like a weird course. It's undulated. You're hitting ball above your feet, ball below your feet. I think he's more of like a TrackMan golfer where he like knows his distances and just hit it super far, get it
He
close to
couldn't
the
play
hole.
at Greystone.
No. And we'll see how he does it at Augusta. He'll probably be great. Guy, I think he's like by a landslide the best par 5 scorer too in this field, and there's 5 par 5. So like he's gonna score. He's gonna get a ton of birdies here. I don't think it's a bad price. I think he has like elite skill sets and the things that matter the most. So I don't think Lud is a fluke. I think he's going to have a good year. I don't think he's definitely going to win any of these majors, but I think he can really clean up on like easy events. I think he's like a better Sam Burns.
Yeah.
And I forgot Vic. So Vic is in tier 1, actually, going back to that. So it's like
Okay.
you got Rory, Vic, and Scotty. They play well. They could win anywhere. And then your second tier, you've got Cantlay. And I would put Ludd in there, and I put Homa in there, and then I would put the other guys like Xander and Morikawa after that in the third tier. So to me, Cantlay's just a little bit better than those other guys. He's been finishing like top 5 everywhere. I don't think he won at all last year.
No.
Which is weird. He's due.
Dude.
Trend.
Fuck.
This time last year, he was getting like toasted on social media because he wore those stupid shorts or something. Remember that?
Yeah.
Took that couple pick with Zan. So he was getting embarrassed, probably distracted him.
Yep.
That's in the past is like a little redemption for him, like a little wardrobe redemption. He's like calling the shots on the PGA Tour now, coming in a little bit more confident about himself. Like he runs the place, calling out pampered fucks. Like this is kind of Cantlay's tournament. He's had a lot of moments here, like off the course moments. I don't remember a single time he was in contention, but he's finished 4th place twice in the last 3 years, and he's like always a storyline one way or another.
Yeah, no, his shorts was all they talked about on the broadcast. Like that was like taking up so much airtime. Yeah, no, I'm fine with Cantlay. I bet him here last year. I don't like the fact that he hasn't played all fall. Like he's like one of the only people that didn't tee it up a single time. And I just don't know. Like Cantlay wins like big dick events in the summer. Like I just don't see him like grinding at Sentry. Like I'm just trying to psychoanalyze the guy, and I don't know if like this really gets him hard. Like I think he needs a little bit more juice than an event that like I'm not even joking. Like his Mai Tai comments like make me think less of him at this tournament. I'm being serious. But he's obviously very good and he's a great putter. And I bet him here last year, so like I get it. But like if you don't win when I bet you, like I'm never betting you again. I bet Homa at 15-1. Again, he kind of fits the mold. He checks a lot of boxes for me of someone I think is going to have a really breakout year and really cement himself, like I talked about earlier in the show. He has course history. He's been better every single time he's played it with the T4 last year. Really impressive showing. He's another guy, elite ball striker, really good putter. I trust his flat stick. I think that good putters tend to win this event, and he fits that. He won the Nedbank Challenge, which is one of the hardest events to win in the entire world in Africa. And I don't know, just 15-1, like kind of mixed with those guys. Like I think kind of people are like Colin and Cantlay and Xander. Like I don't know. I think it's like I just said. Like I think it's going to be a Homa year, and you know he really doesn't. There's not a single box he doesn't check. I do like him in a little bit easier conditions, to be honest. But I like Homa. I think Homa is my favorite play. Up top, 20-1 range, like 20-30. You wrote up your guy, your breakout guy for the year, Matty Fitz. What number did you get Fitz at?
30.
30. Okay.
Hasn't really moved too much off.
Yeah, but he's like 22 on one book. Yeah, he's like 22 on one book and 30 on another. So like Vic laughed that one.
Yeah, I thought that would come down a little bit more. It came down a little bit, but yeah, anything above 25, I would play Fitz at. He finished top 10, I think, or 7th here in his debut last year. I don't like to play guys in their first year, but once you kind of know what this tournament is all about and you played it, then I'll go back to you. It's pretty good on Bermuda, putts well anywhere. He can win a putting contest. Although he's like not a birdie fest guy. No. So that would be the only thing that would give me pause. Like if you look at every round Fitz has ever played, the only time he's ever played a tournament and gotten past 20 under was here.
Yeah.
That's a crazy stat that he's nowhere else has he ever shot.
I think Zal did the exact same thing. The only time Zal's ever got to -20 is here.
Yeah. But we're here. So like, I think, it's the last 2 years it poured and everything just hit the green and stopped and it was just point and shoot. And that's why it was a birdie fest and there was no wind. This year, there's not that much rain. It's going to be drier and it's going to be really windy on Friday and Saturday. So when it gets windy and firm, it's not going to be a 30 under week. It's probably going to be like 24 under winds or something.
Yeah.
So he'll be in the mix as long as it stays to like low 20s. But you would think a guy as good of a putter as he is, he should be a birdie fest guy. He's got the distance to get to the par fives, 5 par fives. Should be birdieing those for sure. He's playing really well. He's so good at the Ryder Cup. Won within his last like 5 starts on the DP. He's been playing a lot on the DP.
He can win.
Yeah, I like him.
Okay. My guy, 20 to 30. I know he's pretty popular this week, but Tom Kim. I got him at 35 to 1. Dude balled out here last year, had a really good showing on his first time, which again, a lot of people kind of struggle in the first time. So I like that he kind of figured this place out to a certain extent to start the year. Last year, he's got a new caddy on the bag, maybe a little bit of a revenge factor, losing his caddy to Ludwig Aubert. I think that's kind of driving him a little bit. Again, I like that he won this fall. We're kind of on a trend of, we had a lot of internationals win this, and then we had a lot of Americans win it. We're on the international wave again. So I like Tom Kim for those reasons. But the dude, if there's one guy I trust to go extremely low, I have zero concerns about him winning this event because of the score. And I think 30 to 1 is very fair on a guy who's won 3 times on the PGA Tour. So also no wife, no kids, strokes gained. Strokes gained single in Hawaii versus strokes gained like family in Hawaii. Like I would like to, if maybe I could get my intern on it, to know the marital and relationship status of winners at Kapalua to start the year. If someone could look that up for me, that would be great. Because I think there's something there if you dive a little bit deeper.
So why do you just like time to yourself?
Yeah,
because it's not like you're not like going out and like out on the town. You're like stuck on the resort.
Yeah, like I feel like if you bring your wife and kids, they're gonna be like, "Oh, we want to go to like the water park and like we want to see the fucking dolphins," and they're not letting you focus on your craft. Because this is a take. This is why we do the pod. Okay, if you bring your family to like the John Deere or the Travelers, like we're talking shit towns. Like there's nothing going on. Most people have seen Middle America. Most people have seen Florida. Okay. When you bring your family to Hawaii, it's like a massive new experience, and they're going to want to do a lot of shit, and they're going to pull you in a bunch of different directions versus a normal PGA Tour event. That is a take. That is like science right there. Like when you bring your family to a normal PGA Tour event, there's nothing to do. Hawaii, it's a different animal. I like single guys this
That's
week.
true. I've seen the White Lotus.
Yeah, you know how it is. Who's the next guy you bet?
Future U.S. Open champion Cam Davis. I think it's a crazy number. I got him at 80. No, actually, I got him at 90.
I think he's like 75. Yeah.
Which is crazy. He's had a great fall. Little Humpty Dumpty.
Strokes gained Australia.
I had a great fall.
Who is I'm just testing your knowledge. Who is a famous Australian that finished top 5 at this event?
Matt Jones.
You know ball. Like you literally know ball. It's crazy.
Who? Matt Jones. And Cam Smith, obviously. I think I like the whole like natural time zone narrative. Like Sungjae balls out here pretty close.
Shit.
Oh my God. Tom Kim. Like there's something to that. Like you're in Hawaii and you didn't have to travel that far. You're like, it feels right. Kind of works for California people too. That works. It just like kind of anywhere like Korea, Japan, California, Australia. Ryan Fox isn't here, but it would apply to New Zealand as well. I like it. You know, you don't have to travel as far. It's like if the Rams were playing in London, you wouldn't bet on them. Works the same way here. But yeah, I mean, he's playing great. He's so erratic, drives it everywhere off the tee, but it doesn't matter. He can't miss these fairways. It's like that's why Justin Thomas is awesome here. He's just good. He's just really good. He's like gaining.
He's a
across
future
all.
major champion.
Yeah, he's young. I hit him at the Rocket Mortgage. No big deal. 150 to 1, not a big deal. So like he could play.
I love it. Strokes gained time zone. I fucking love it. I was debating between betting him and another guy or Sanjay. I kind of invented Sanjay at this event. I thought he was going to win the last 2 years. He did it. That's past me. Like I'm turning a new leaf. Like I'm not stuck in old ways. So yeah, I'm going to bet Cam Davis. He almost won twice. In the fall, he almost won in Australia. He was like first round leader. That also counts. If you're first round leader somewhere, you could win this event. But like you said, strokes gain time zone, strokes gain erratic off the tee, strokes gain Australia, strokes gain winning a major this year. Cam Davis. I'm in. I'm gonna bet. I haven't bet him yet, but like I'm down to party on him. Another guy.
Single.
Yeah.
Let's assume he's single.
Yeah, I think he is. He doesn't have like a fucking family. So that's huge. That's another thing. I don't think this guy's gonna win, but I bet him. Sahith Theegala. I think it's just a good course fit. I'm a bit lower. Maybe I won't bet Theegala. I'm not feeling it. And I want to go with my gut. I might bet another guy. I don't love Theegala, but it makes sense. Like I think it's a good course fit. He's a good putter, but I'm lower than consensus on Sahith. Like I don't think he's actually that good at golf, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Who else are you betting? I hope not Sahith.
No, I'm interested if the Sahith like family and friends make the trip.
Yeah,
because it's not that bad of a trip from LA, and that's a big difference. If he's hosting all of the Theegalas, I don't know if Hawaii can handle that. But he has no immediate family, like he has no kids or anything, so that would be a plus for him. I bet him alongside Rose Yang at the QBE or whatever they're calling it, and they disappointed a little bit, so I have a little sour taste in my mouth for Sahith. But I love him. If he wins, that's cool. I'm happy for him. Another guy who sprays it, that won't matter here. So he'll be fun to watch. I'm looking forward to that. I forgot that I bet Cam Young. It was one of those things where I was just
like Cam Young.
Cam Young in a limited field at a big number. I got him at 55, which I think is a big number for Cam Young. Guy I'll probably lose. I don't know if I'll lose like the most money on Cam Young this year because I don't like love him enough to keep betting him. Like if he sucks, then I'll just be like, all right, I'm done with that. I don't need to go back. Sung Jae was probably the guy I lost the most money on last year because I like him and I wanted him to win, and he just doesn't win. Yeah. So I could probably still like keep getting sucked into that trap this year. But Cam Young, I'll like, okay, good number. I'll bet it. If I miss out, I'm not going to be too upset about it. But you know, he's good, and Paul Tesori was obviously holding him back, so it's good that he's off the bag. Yep. Hits it far.
Isn't that like weird?
He made like a weird. His tweet was really weird. I got to go back and pull up what Paul Tesori tweeted.
Well, he has a new caddy for sure. And it's I looked him up. It didn't. But it was like it's weird to get. I'm not saying Webb Simpson's like a fucking Hall of Famer, but it's weird to get an elite caddy like that. Like, there's only so many caddies that people actually know, and to play with him for less than half a year and then kick him off the bag, like that doesn't make me think. It makes me think less of Cam Young. It makes me feel like he has some issues.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what Paul Tesori tweeted. 2023 was a brutal year professionally. Moving on from 12 and a half years, my man Webb Simpson, and not having the huge run with Cam that I hoped for. Starting in 24, I'm going to lean on AP Stat Sports for some help in diagnosing every shot. I'll do this daily and weekly. So I kind of threw Cam under the bus a little bit, I think. Like most caddies would be like,
Thank him
was
for this opportunity. That's why it's weird. Like Paul Tesori is like an elite caddy, and he's like, "You're gonna kick me off the bag? Like you haven't won dick, bro." Like
yeah.
that.
And Cam's caddy before Paul Tesori was like literally a buddy, like a college
Exactly.
friend. So
He's
I
like, "No,
think
I need someone more like established."
he went like 0 to 200. He went from like, this guy's not giving me anything and I'm just hitting my shots, to Paul Tesori's like, we got to do this and you got to hit it here and I'm going to read your greens and this is how Webb and I did it. Like Cam's already the opposite player from Webb Simpson anyway. So it's almost like Nathaniel Hackett on the Jets.
Yeah.
Had a great thing going with Aaron Rodgers for a really long time. They bring him in. You're going to be Rodgers' guy. But then you got to stick him with Zach Wilson. And it's like, I don't know how to adapt my teaching, what I offer, to this completely different guy.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work out. So now we're going to try again. I don't even know who his caddy is. I don't think it matters. He played really well in majors with a random friend on his bag. Akshay's winning with his girlfriend on the bag. Like some guys.
Wayne, his new caddy is Wayne DeHaas. He is currently unranked. His best OWGR is 738th, and he's South African.
That's cool. I've always said if I had to pick a caddy, it would be somebody with like a comforting accent.
Yeah.
Like just to take my mind off of things. Like a nice accent sounds convincing, even if I don't trust the number. If you give it to me in an accent, I believe it.
No, I for sure agree on that one. My last bet, I think the last guy we will talk about this today. Another guy I like, seriously, I love this bet with a top 5 and a top 10. JT Poston is kind of my breakout. He's like on my short list of breakout guys this year. I think he would bet my entire life he wins a PGA Tour event this year. Like that is a guarantee. And I think he kind of might fuck around and, hang around in a major and just kind of be like, yo, like Wyndham champ, John Deere champ. Like, nah, like that's not good enough for me. Like I need some big dick wins. But this is a great spot for him. I mean, wide open off the tee. He's terrible off the tee. Really good wedge player, really good putter. Contended in the fall. 100-1. I love it. Like I really do think, can he win? Probably not. Top 5, top 10 is a max, is an absolute mortgage. And again, Strokes can win a major this year. I like Poston. I really do. I mean, and I owe some of that to you, man. I really do. You tweeted before the John Deere Classic. Yeah, Poston's form is ass here, but was it at the Travelers and he's 80-1. I'm like, all right, I'm in. And I cashed that, and 4th of July weekend. I remember like being at the bars and like girls coming up to me like, did you hit JT Poston at the John Deere? I was like, yeah. They're like, you weren't worried about his like course sister? I'm like, he was second like last week. He was trending. So I remember that happening. But yeah, that was a movie. That was honestly sick as shit.
Yeah, one thing that was bullshit, and I'm still trying to get a refund from FanDuel. His caddy, I'm blanking on his name.
Aaron Fleener.
Yeah, he got injured in the practice round, and so he played his full RSM Classic with his agent on the back. How are you not refunding my bet?
Wait, at the John
at
Deere?
the RSM, he played with his agent on the bag instead of Fleener.
He was
you got to give me a cash out option if that's happening. That's not what I bet on.
At least
I bet on the battery of Fleener and Post. I don't know his status, Fleener. I think it was like he got surgery.
He's in.
He's in.
Wait, what? He's in. Yeah, he tweeted a picture of a porta potty and said, "Thanks, Ron."
So
I'm
he's
not
on the
even
back.
joking.
He's carrying.
He's in cap this
Because
week.
Kapaloo is a tough walk, and that this is going to make a big difference if I back Poston or not.
Dude, ride Posty with me. First round leader? No, John. This is not a typical first round leader event.
Okay.
This event, the last 3 winners were first round leader. I haven't seen anything like that in all my years of betting on golf. So this is a week where you don't pick losers that can't win to be first round leader. Did you see any of that in your research?
Well, if you got to get to 30 under, you kind of have no choice but to lead at the first round because you can't play catch up for that long. So that makes sense. I think this is a win split week. I'm going morning wave. I haven't looked at who's in the morning wave
what
yet.
wind
But
tower are you using?
I'm in Maui.
It's not. Maui's a big place. Like they were. No, I'm not even joking.
There's 2 in Maui. You just split the difference.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't kind of dived into weather, but yeah, my first round leader card this week is just my outright card. I think it's like it's not a week to be like, oh, I really like fucking, I don't know, like some shit like Brendan Todd first round leader. Like, no, it's not happening.
Yeah. I posted my year in review bets. Aaron Rye was the only first round leader I hit. Did it 3 times. Didn't hit a first round leader that wasn't Aaron Rye.
That's yeah.
I can't hit this week. Yeah, I can't hit.
Dude, I don't know if people know this, but I had like a local book, and they would pay out first round leaders in full if they were tied. Like they would just pay it out in full, and like they also paid out ties in full, which isn't that crazy, but it didn't automatically do that. And we would text our bookie and say this should be paid in full, and he would just do it, and it was amazing. It was like, actually, is this dude no Shrakalov? Dude, we literally like said he was going to win every major this year on this pod. Like
he's not
going to win this
franchise a year from today.
Yeah. So I'm going to read this text exactly that I got from this guy. I know I'm keeping you over, but we'll end it after this. But this is the text from him. Good afternoon. Balance of 140 this week. Me being down, not up. Drop some free play for you! Exclamation point. Happy New Year! Exclamation point. All right. Fuck yeah. For your information, FYI, starting this week, dead heat rules will no longer be applied. All right, bro. So I'm like, did the book do like a year-end like audit? And like they were like, what lost us the most money? It was like, oh, these fucking kids, Brian Cursor and Matt Gannon, like won thousands of dollars betting first round leaders when they shouldn't have been paid in full. Like there was like an audit done for this book. So yeah, now like first round leaders, I'm like done donating money to him. Like I'm just gonna bet the best number first round leader and just hope for the best.
Yeah, there. Anyone who tells you they like have a strategy for first round leader is lying. It's completely random.
What the fuck are you talking about? Did you actually just say that on my pod?
Yeah, fight me.
You literally bet one guy you bet Munoz first round leader every week, and is that not a strategy?
I mean, that's more like a way of life. That's like that's an ideology.
No, but that's legitimately a first round leader strategy.
Okay, I would say there are certain guys who are first round leader guys. And if you want to pick a guy,
that's a strategy. You bet losers that can't win to be first round leader.
Yeah. No, there's certain guys who always deliver on the first round, never close, and their number never changes week to week in first round leader because of how bad they close, which doesn't have any effect on it. Aaron Rye's a perfect example. Sebastian Munoz is a perfect example. There's not too many of them. I will continue to bet Aaron Rye first round leader every week. When he's not in the field, I have absolutely no strategy or any idea what I'm doing. Sometimes it's just weather splits and you hope to get lucky. That's what I'm going to try this week. But it could literally be any of these 59 people, and none of them would surprise me. How about Camila? Won in the fall.
Fuck.
Is back.
Shit. Yeah, Camilo could win.
He could go to live, actually. Speak Spanish.
Maybe. Before I let you go, I appreciate your time. I know you're watching the Q's game. I got my eyes are on. Any early Sony leans?
I mean, Posty. Right?
I don't know if he's gonna play.
Why not? He's already in Hawaii.
What about Cole? He's probably gonna win, right?
Whoa.
Cole at Sony.
Sony
I said it first. I said it first. Because everyone's gonna bet him next week.
I feel like Cole's never left the continental United States. No, he played in the Open. I feel like he's out of sorts when he leaves the continental United States.
He almost won the Scottish.
Yeah. Okay. So. That theory doesn't work.
Are you in on Cole next week?
No, I think I'm done. After I had him at the RSM.
He literally would have had to shoot 57 to win. Who cares?
No, but 2 holes in, he went bogey, and Ludwig went birdie eagle. He just looked like a guy that's not gonna close. Everything about him, he's begging to tell everyone he's not gonna close. I won't be there for his first win, probably.
You're out.
I'll be late on Colt.
Okay.
But I mean, Henley's gonna be probably the favorite. How about a little lag on Tom Kim? Remember when he was the favorite here?
It's true.
Are you disappointed?
I mean, if he's gonna win this week, so it's gonna be tough to win back to back. He could go JT. Vibes. I really appreciate your time. Everyone, check out John's weekly articles. They're great. One of my favorite things to read. And as you guys can tell, he's a great guy, great golfer, great driver of the ball, great wedge player. He could roll in some putts, really good on difficult holes. But yeah, I'm excited to once the weather gets a little bit warmer for us to play some golf soon.
Yeah, who knows? 2025, you might see a lot of me, depending on where my house ends up. Matt Fitzpatrick will have a lot to do with that.
You'll invite me over and we'll grill and talk about our wives and our lawns.
Yeah, one of the things hanging in the balance of my bets this year is, will I have a yard or not? Because there are towns that I like that don't have yards, and I don't want to live there. But if I can't afford a yard, then we can't grill. So that's why I need to cook this year. I need to be up units by the end of the year, or I'm in shambles.
Yeah. No, well, you will. You will. But I appreciate everyone listening. It's great to be back. No one cares. I'm not doing any articles this year. I'm not writing. I'm just potting. I'm too busy at work. I can't do it. So if you listen this far, I'm not doing any writing this year. And also I hate it because I have to pick a guy on Monday or Sunday night, and I don't know who I'm fucking betting. We will be back next week. We got Jersey betting Matt Gannon on for the Sony. I've actually been trying to get him on. I've asked him, I'm not joking, 3 times to come on, and he's declined me every time. I can't get the kid on. I moved around the schedule to get him on. So we'll be back next week. Hope everyone has
He's a homeowner.
Yeah, he owns it. No, he rents it. But he lives in a house with a woman.
He's got a house. He's got a yard.
It's basically, yeah. We'll see everyone next week. Hope you win your bets this week, as long as I bet them.